Alright, so here we are. We are going to put a flange on this pipe. This pipe is for our 96 Suburban. The rear brake lines blew out and started leaking. So we're doing a double flange. So the way these fittings work, you zoom in down on this one. We already did this one down here. So you can see there's a flange on the end, and you put the fitting on, and the fitting presses against that end of the flange. And then on the inside there's a little tiny flange there, and those surfaces meet. And I think with this being copper nickel, it kind of presses that metal in and creates a tight seal. So we're bending all of our own lines. We're using this copper, which is easy to hand bend. Here's the old line we're making a template out of. So it's not perfect, but you can see we've got the general shape. And the idea is that, oh, let's see, it goes like, where's it at? Like that is the general shape. We're mainly just trying to get these ends to line up. It won't be perfect, but it's close enough that we can get it in the truck and line it up with the line that goes to the rear. So here's how you do the flange bending thing. So you clamp it in this clamp, which is clamped in our vise, and clean the surface of the copper, get all burrs off of it, and then we reamed the inside. I'm just using a drill bit, which actually works pretty well. Put very light pressure, but a lot of speed, just to clean that inside out. That gets it ready. Step one is the first bend, and what it does, it takes the copper here and folds it over to the inside, kind of pushes it out at the base and folds it over to the inside, which you can see happens with this little concave piece here. So that sits right in there. And we take this thing, which you can see is just a press. It hooks around the bottom, and then you screw it down to make the flange. So we're going to do this first bend. Once I feel it snug up, I actually I switch the thing midway through so I'm not pulling any one direction. And we tighten it pretty much as tight as I can get it. It'll bottom out eventually. Make sure it's pretty straight there. You can actually get a surface on it. You can actually see it bending before it disappears. So see it begin to bend. And you got to get the clamp really tight or else the pipe will push down through. Oops, that's not good. So now we've got it walking kind of in a funny direction. I don't love that. I'm going to try to reset here. Okay, so keep going. Yeah, I don't love how that kind of went sideways first. We'll see how this one turns out. So I'll go to that bottoms out, and then we open it up. So that's the first bend. Take a zoom in there. Yeah, I don't really love that, but I think it'll still work. And then we do the second one here, and it will bend that over in to create a double flange. So we'll tighten this up. Same thing. I go pretty tight here just to squish that copper really tight. So we'll go until this seats all the way into the bottom there. And then we'll really crank it down to get it tight. And theoretically, if we did this right, we will have, you can see that's a pretty good surface there. Gonna loosen up this vise. Let's take this out of there. Okay. So there we go. We've got our pipe bent and ready to go in the car, and hopefully it'll work. All right, we'll take some videos of actually installing it in the car.